I was very proud of the way we started the game. I think the things we did, we were efficient early in the game. Still not as clean as I wanted to be, but made the plays in the end. Got the good start, got out. Then I think just a little lethargic here, kind of on offense. We didn't get the ball back because we had the punt return, and we didn't have possession. Then because we had 6 times the first half, and I think we scored four touchdowns, and we had to punt. Had the one punt and then had to pick. We didn't see the guy on the. They weren't lined up when we snapped. We were in 2 minutes, and then the guy flashed out, and he lost sight of him behind. Didn't see the guy slide out. But I thought DeAndre played a very solid game. I thought Travis Rudolph really played well. Receivers blocked well downfield. Bobo was well. Dalvin it was good to see him get back. He wasn't in the groove, and then we started getting some runs. You started to see the old Dalvin coming back, and really got some nice runs that way. Tight ends caught the ball well. Again, Ricky Aguayo kicked the ball pretty good. Most time, just a field goal. Then had the one field goal. That was nice to hit a 46-yarder like that. Thought we kicked off well, covered well. Defense created turnovers early in the game. Played good leverage for the most part on the day, and what we had going on. Got some of the twos and some of those threes in the game, and there's some learning curve there, but we've got to get those guys. We won't need their depth as the season goes on, and keep them developing. And we got a lot of work to do. I mean, we won a game and did what we were supposed to do. But there's still a lot of work to be done in all 3 phases of the football game, and we just got to go work in progress and got to have a good practice. And coming off 5 days, though, I mean, I'm going to tell you what, that took it out. That game the other night was one of the highest. And when we looked at our GPS, those after the game, that was one of the highest energy games that we had played. I mean, since we've been here, believe that or not, some of the games we've been in, it took a lot out of us and getting back late and the 5-day turnaround. So very proud of our guys doing that. We did what we're supposed to do. Now we got to get better and play Louisville. It was a heck of a football team.
Hey, Jim, on that, just having 5 days to prepare for this game, now you've got a full week for the next game. How is that going to change preparation?
Oh, drastically. And the thing about this week is that I hate, you get better every week of practice. And this week I don't know if we got better because we couldn't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Wednesday had to be like a Monday, and Thursday had to be like a Thursday. And so those days aren't really development days. You're just trying to really hone the things you got, and there's not a lot of work in between, a lot of individual drills. And, you lose that week of development, which is very critical. And we need that because even though we have experience, we're still a very, very young football team. And, they need that practice time. And it was a shame from that standpoint, but it'll be a lot better having the days and getting ready to play.
Jimbo, is there an update on the third one?
Yeah. No, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait to see what the doctors say.
How tough are those games to coach, to manage the balance of wanting your starters to get reps?
Exactly. And that's what I said. There's 10 minutes, 11 minutes to go in the game. It was just we're going to play them 2 series and get out. That's what our plan was. And because we had not, we'd busted the coverage in the first, and we were trying to play efficient, learn our guys to come back out in that situation. And you can second guess yourself all day, but that's what it is. It can happen walking down the street, and I'm sad it happened. Or if it happens, I mean, getting injured. I mean, we don't know what the extent is, and maybe he's okay.
Jimbo, the lack of physical practice time this week, did that change how you wanted to approach this game as far as how long you played your guys? Oh, yeah,
most definitely. I mean, because we didn't get much during the week, and then you're going to play an up-tempo, no-huddle team next week who's going to put a lot of plays out there. So we couldn't work them hard during the week. We had to get them some work, get them energy for the conditioning going back into that game and the heat and everything else, and we wanted to play well.
You talked about wanting to see things on both sides of the ball. What did you like in all 3 phases, and what didn't you like in all 3 phases?
Early I thought we kept great leverage on the ball, created turnovers, tackled well in space on defense, covered well kicks. Kicks we really covered and kept great leverage on the most part. Offensively, I thought we were really efficient on 3rd down in the red zone. I mean, we really were. We made those plays and knew where we were going with the football. We still got to be more physical. We got to run the ball a little better on offense at times. But they were bringing a lot of blitzes, crowding the box, and giving us the easy throws and things like that in numbers game. But we still want to do that. Defensively, we had a couple busted coverages. Even for instance, the play that Derwin made the hit on, we had a busted coverage. He wouldn't even had to make that play. You know what I'm saying? We busted a coverage on a route that it's still communications and and all those young guys is processing all that. And because when you go from option to pass, there's a lot of info in there on that stuff.
So we got a lot of young guys out there today, especially in the second half. Any of these guys flash you? Maybe Brian Burns.
Brian Burns, you can see the ability in there. The 2 linebackers at times, you saw their abilities. Young DBs flashing around, Kyle Myers and Levante and those guys. They did a nice job. I really liked Amir Rasul. You see why I like Amir. He hits that thing hard now, running downhill on those runs. Ryan Jacquez had a nice day there. You saw I got Tate. We got Nooney in the game. We got those guys. And saw Tate in the red zone, got him a couple nice catches. You see Nooney's explosiveness and the things he did. 5 had a couple nice catches. was trying to get Keith Gavin. We got to get Keith Gavin. Keith Gavin's going to be a really good football player. I'm really high, and I like Keith Gavin a lot. We got to get him a bunch of time and get him going in that regard. And then got Pop's a young tight end, a couple of those young linemen. We'll look. I can't see that. We'll have to look at the film.
Jimbo, how did Landon Dickerson do? Do you guys?
Played pretty solidly. I mean, early was a couple little things here and there, communication-wise, but we seemed to function pretty well. I don't think had too many. That we had a lot of just getting all over him on the sideline. Things were his fault, so we'll wait and see the film.
Could Wilson play if he had to? Or?
Yeah, it would have been tough. He had an ankle that was bothering him, and after the game was one of them. He played through it the game and said, "Okay," and then come out the next day on practice. It was just swollen too, and then pushed, and then thought it was okay. And he could have been ready on an emergency deal, but it wasn't a reason to, just wasn't a reason to do it. Just like Sean could have played if he wanted to. We said, why not put that pressure on him? It gives him another week to heal and be ready. Should be ready to roll.
So has you ever been involved in a game like this where a team had to suspend players like this beforehand, and how tough has that been on them to come in here and take on the staff?
I have to think about it. Yeah, Florida State. We had 30 of them. First bowl game I was ever in. Don't you remember? We had to go play Kentucky. Huh? We went up there. We had 30. We had more than they did. If you remember, wasn't it 30? 27 like that. I was on that team, coaching. That was tough. And in my hat, they're a very well coached team, a good football team. That team will be I would be shocked if they're not in the 1AA playoffs. You know what I mean? And going for a national championship. They're a well coached, good team.
Did John Kez show you more what you were looking for him in his game today?
He did better. He did good. I thought he played well last week. We're kind of keep getting him touches and getting him in the mix and what we're doing, and we're very pleased with his progress right now.
Jimbo, you mentioned it.
89-yard punt return by Bobo.
That was wonderful.
Is that a combination of coaching or talent? Or?
Well, we're doing a better job of, again, hold-ups at the line of scrimmage. We're doing a better job at the line of scrimmage, and we're getting hands on guys. That was one of our goals, to give him some room to make the run, and he's a talented guy. I mean, and, Nooney does a good job back there. Those guys all can be great punt returners, but nobody can be a punt returner when you're catching if they're standing on top of you.
Jimbo, you mentioned it. How good was it to see Dalvin bust one like that?
It really was. It was really good. And see him, the run before that on the arena, a swing out there, he had a stretch play over there, and just get back in the group. And I think getting used to our block, we're starting to block at the line of scrimmage and got things going, I think the first game, maybe me keeping him, he got the first scrimmage, he got tackled 6-7 times, and I got him out the second one. I let him get hit but not get tackled. You know what I mean? And you got to protect him. But it's hard for a back to play if you don't get tackled. And you get the fast part of the game and get going. And, at the first game, he made some nice runs, but I thought he was a little bit too quick. It was, you could tell from not playing fast, missed some cuts. There was 2 or 3 cuts on a power play. Now, he cut back and got nothing in that first game that really could have come out of there for some 10, 12, 15-yard gains. And but you got to play fast. Everybody says fast, but rest guy. I'm going to tell you what. You can't get better playing in football by sitting on the bench. It's a game. It's too fast. It's too physical in the way it is. You have to play it to get back. And that was good to see him get back in that groove.